artists. So today we're going to be experimenting with textures, drawing textures in. This is going to take your art work from just shapes and then adding details to elevate your art even more. So let's get started. So I'm going to be showing you 6 textures today. There we go, that's better. I'm going to be showing you only 6 different textures today. And keep in mind though that there are lots of different textures that you could try and use for your artwork. It just kind of depends on what you want to do. But here's some to just help you get started. So for soft, a lot of times when we're doing a soft type texture, you want to draw your shape first. So if I'm thinking about a soft and fluffy thing object, I'm thinking about a cloud right now. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a cloud. I'm going to make these big, large, I'm going to draw my outline of my cloud first. These big, large, round curves for the outside here. And then if I really want to make it look like it's even softer on the inside, maybe it's even fluffier, like you're really bouncing in on a cloud, I would just mimic these same kind of lines kind of inside a little bit. I could just do mini versions of these soft, fluffy lines, adding in some curves. It's really going to give the inside of your cloud this feeling that it's not just soft and fluffy on the outside, but it's soft and fluffy when you sit on it too. And it's kind of like that. Then I could use my colored pencils. I could color it in however I wanted to do that. All right, a smooth texture. So one way to create a smooth texture would be adding a couple highlights in there to really make sure that it looks like shiny or glossy even. That's one way to make it look smooth. I'm thinking about glass right now, or maybe like a nose. So I was thinking about like a nose you might add to like a cartoon creature or something like that. And how you could really make that nose really smooth looking. How I would do that is if I have this oval here, I'm going to start with my shape first, and then I'm going to put this rounded rectangle in here. And this would be, and then I could color this in with my pencil or colored pencil, whatever I'm using, marker. And I would color in everything except for that rounded highlight I put in. It's almost like the light is hitting the nose and bouncing right back off. It creates this really light spot, and it gives you the sense that it might be a glassy texture or a wet texture, or like maybe a wet surface or a really smooth surface when the light just kind of hits it and bounces right back off. All right, so that's a smooth texture. One of them. So a bumpy texture I'm going to show you today is I'm going to show you how to do scales. If I'm drawing maybe like the side of a house or something like that, I want to think about like maybe a roof. One way I could do that is I'm going to draw the side of my roof here. I would pretend it's on like the side of my house maybe. Like my house is going down here. So I draw my shapes first. I draw my big shapes first, and now I am ready to add in my texture. When I start off with my scales, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here at the corner, and I'm going to go down like a U. And I'm just going to create U's all the way across. Okay, now when I do my second row here, I'm going to start in the middle of the top row and then kind of go across the top. I'll go across, hooking up to the middle. I would go back towards the end here and add on my curve. I like to start in the middle of one of them to start with and leave a space. That way I make sure that I'm creating that staggered look. Then I go back in and I add the last scale in. All right, I'll do one more row. Just use right across. And I would fill up that space with that same texture until I like it. All right, a rough texture. So I'm thinking about gravelly roads right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my shape of my road. Remember, the closer towards the bottom it is, the closer the road is to me, and the closer to the top it is, remember the smaller it's going to be. So This is showing that my road is closer, bigger when it's closer to me and smaller when it's farther away. Now to add, now this is just, right now it looks like just a road. Right now I'm going to add some texture to it. I'm thinking about how rocks are kind of sharp, and I'm just going to add some really rough, sharp lines here, just short lines. Gravel, small rocks, gravel. So I'm just going to add some really rough, pointy, sharp lines. I'm just kind of adding them at random because rocks are kind of all over each other. And this is going to give the sense that my road is rough. As I get farther to the back here, I won't see my texture as much. It'll just kind of look like dots as I get farther away, because as I am farther away from something, I can't see the individual shape of something. It just looks kind of blurry as you get farther away from something. And then as I get closer, these lines would become bigger and more defined. Just like that. And I would fill up my space. All right. If I'm doing a grassy or hairy texture, I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of short grass, a little bit of hairy grass. I'm going to draw a cactus here. Draw my shape first. It's not a bad upside down looking cactus. All right, if I'm going to add like the prickly hairs on a cactus, what I might do is I might add these just short lines, kind of in this, these just very short lines, making it look kind of pointy. I might add them off to the side here beyond my shape and then on my shape, really kind of looking at how that is starting to be kind of prickly. All right, if I'm doing like a hairy, like maybe this cactus has some hair going on, all that would be the lines could be longer. It could be longer, maybe it's curvy hair, or wavy hair. So maybe it's not quite straight. I would start here at the bottom of whatever I'm doing, and I would just add lines kind of going on top, making sure that they're a little longer to get that hairy texture. If it's maybe a curly hair, then maybe I would kind of come down here and do curly lines for curly hair. All right, last one I'm going to show you today is bricks. When I do bricks, a lot of times what we want to do is we want to just draw lines straight across and just draw lines straight across this way and then do lines straight down. But bricks are more natural. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw each individual rectangle all the way across. Just like my scales here, I'm going to start in the middle and stagger the next row and then add on the ends. Just like that. All right, and then you would fill up your space. There are lots more textures that you can experiment with. Just think about different lines and think about the surface that you're trying to draw, and then draw lines that kind of fit that space. Don't be afraid to experiment with it. Happy creating!